Jace Denman alongside head coach of your MSUM Dragons, Steve Laqua. Coach, another week, another big win. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw out on the field in that win against Winona State team, which obviously it's starting to set the tone as far as what this team could potentially be this year.
Well, I thought definitely a great start, and we talked about making sure we come out with a quiet confidence, take control of the football game, at least the pace of it. That defense did a fabulous job. Anytime you can throw a shutout in the first half, you're putting yourself in good position. Special teams, awesome. We get a piece of a punt. We get a pin down inside the 5, inside the 2, down in a punt in there. That was huge. And then I think being able to get the stop before the half, flip the field quick, and then get the long Max Watson field goal right before the half to go up from 2 scores to 3 when they were going to get the ball to start the half. That was a key sequence of events there. And so I think all 3 phases did a great job putting us in position right out the gate. And then obviously the second half we had to weather a little bit of a storm and then be able to put it away down the stretch.
When we talk about football, and it even goes to basketball as well, that middle kind of 8 minutes of a game, 4 minutes going into the half, 4 minutes out of it, how big can a momentum swing be when it's something like getting that stop and then getting into position for that long field goal, and then obviously on top of that, how nice is it having a guy like Max Watson that can knock down 45, 46-yard field goals?
Well, it's definitely things you pay attention to of who's starting with the ball in the second half, and are we going to win that middle 8, and how are we going to manage that out? And so I think you look back a week ago at Southwest, we did a good job being able to get a stop, move the ball down the field. We got in position for a field goal. We didn't make it before the half, but we set the stage for how we could do it and successfully get to that point. Here it happened again. We got to redo this week. We moved it down the field. We got in field goal position. Not great field goal position, but hats off to Max. That's at 46 yards is a long kick.
Yeah, I mean, just fantastic to see him to be able to knock those down. It gives such a different feel to this team when it's like you get in that spot and you know that you can make a field goal from a deeper range than you used to, so that obviously gives you a little bit more of a buffer so you can, make some points right before the half. You come out of the game, obviously pretty healthy, a week of forcing turnovers. Believe James has told some of the players this week you guys have 10 forced turnovers in 3 games. What has it been about this defense that you guys have been able to force turnovers? Is it just rallying to the ball? Is it just capitalize on plays that are there to be made? What has made you guys able to capitalize on forcing turnovers?
I think definitely it starts with running to the football, and that's an effort and a pursuit thing, and our guys do a great job with that. So if the ball does pop out or is tipped up in a pass and deflected, we've got a lot of bodies that are going into that space to be able to get it, and playing some zone eyes. And so instead of getting caught in man, you got a lot of people looking for the football in the air. Those are things that help. And I think obviously our defense is doing some things that's maybe catching some people off guard, maybe forcing a throw early, thrown into windows where they're not expecting droppers, and then we've done a good job with a couple of them being able to get hits on quarterback as the ball's getting thrown, so it's just a little bit off. The pick this week by Tate, I don't know if that's anything with coaching. That's pure talent and athleticism. That was just a heck of a play.
You can say, oh, it's all coaching. We schemed it up.
Great play by him. You don't see those plays very often. It was just a big-time play by a big-time player.
When you talk about this defense, obviously, the funny thing is you guys are averaging over 46 points a game by my calculation of the first 3 games. 2 of those games, you guys haven't even scored in the first quarter. So it sometimes takes you a little bit to find what's working against that team. But how much does that say about that defense that's keeping games close, especially when you look at the Winona State game, shut them out in the first half altogether, and then once that offense found its footing, you're off and running. And the only thing you might want to say, well, there's coaching points we can always make improvements on. Obviously, there was a couple of coverages or things like that kind of had a little bit of issue in the second half, but those are easy fixes, right?
Absolutely. I think our defense is playing at a high level, and you look in you could talk about the offense and the points per game or whatever, but what gets unnoticed is the hidden yardage in special teams, which I think we've started to pick that up and play better. This was a really good special teams week for us for the most part. Not perfect, but close. But you look at what the defense is doing. They are getting turnovers, or they're creating change of field position that's allowing a shorter field for us. And so you don't get points for that, but if you look at the analytics of it, when they're getting stops early and then we're able to flip the field and we're getting the ball in the plus 40 or even inside the 50, great. You could say great job offense, but the defense has set that up and stacked the deck in the favor of the offense. And so I think it's very complimentary football that's going in a good place right now.
Well, when you talk about complimentary football, I think I asked Coach James this on the post game last week. When you have an offense like you guys have, scoring all those points, does it give you the freedom defensively, maybe to be a bit more aggressive, maybe to call some things that you wouldn't do if you were being more conservative, if you weren't sure you're going to be able to score the ball. I mean, does that offense give you the ability to expand the playbook defensively?
Well, both sides play off each other. And so if the defense feels confident the offense is going to score points, yes, you can take some chances and maybe try and swing the game quicker. Likewise, on offense, if you feel like the defense is getting stops, it allows us to maybe be patient, set some things up, kind of put some smoke and mirrors out there and, hit them with the left when they're expecting a right, whatever it might be. And so when both sides are playing well, offense and defense, success breeds success. And so if they're both playing well, it just makes everything go better. Now, likewise, if both are playing poor, it's a really vicious cycle to get out of, and so it's important that you get off to a good start in games.
This is my third time watching you guys play Wayne coming up this Saturday. Obviously, I've seen the season opener. There was a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas 2 years ago. Last year, season opener, they had a game under their belt. That is huge, obviously, in the college game. Get that one game under your belt before you play. This time, they've got a couple games. You got 3 games under your belt. You haven't beat them in a while. What's it going to take to get a victory this weekend against Wayne?
Well, this is a chance for the coach speak quotes here. No, but special teams have been a real pain in our butt against these guys. They've done a fabulous job being able to beat us in special teams, and so it starts there. If we can find hidden yards, but we got to be solid in the kick coverage games. If you look at that and go defensively, can we get to a point where we don't allow them in rhythm? They've struggled maybe to get some consistency. Can we make sure they don't find a rhythm, they don't get consistent, they don't get a lot of plays and start to build confidence? And then offensively, we got to be able to start fast. And so that's been something that we've struggled against. They've thrown looks at us that we haven't adapted too well. We've got to be able to adapt real early and be able to make plays and at least change field position in our favor.
There you go. Well, Coach, obviously James and I will be there for all the action on Saturday, so best of luck this weekend coming up against Wayne State.
Thank you.
All right, this is Jace Denman alongside head coach Steve Laqua of your Dragon football team. We'll talk to you soon.